Morning, Jackie Valino, Emma McGregor, Emma L2189, Sally O'Sullivan, Gillian Barris,
Morning.
Tim Reed, Nanny Bluebell, Carmel Carney, Laura Cooper, Alison Fisher. Let me just do that. How are we all this morning?
Thank you, Faith. I will send them all your regards.
We are, how are you?
I don't know.
Okay, that's good, we can work with
I
that.
feel a bit swollen.
Right.
My head feels a bit swollen. My eyes feel a bit swollen.
Okay, that's nice, yeah. I'm going with this image.
Kiki's off ill.
Yeah.
We need to do a test.
Lateral
Anyone
flow
here
tests.
had a lateral flow test that was negative and then turned out positive?
Or you turned out to actually have the COVID. Whilst you're answering that, do you like this? Stop looking at my vinyl records.
Stop looking at my vinyl records. I love it.
Stop looking at my vinyl. Stop
I love
looking
it.
at my vinyl records, will you?
Thank you, Mabel. I don't feel well.
Carl liked that when I said it to him, didn't he? Yesterday. And I said to him, stop looking at my vinyl records. He actually thought he'd been looking at something he shouldn't have been. We had a lovely day yesterday. It was really lovely, and we vlogged some of it, obviously.
We had a lovely weekend, actually, because Lisa and her family came to stay on Saturday night, and we laughed like drains. Oh my god.
It was our Christmas with them, really.
So that's the Christmas trees will be coming down. I thought we were going to do it today, but I didn't realise that Mark had a thing on this afternoon. I've got a thing in the middle. So we still may have the Christmas trees
They're
tomorrow.
coming down, and when they do, you'll be there first.
But yesterday was proper Christmas. We had a full Christmas dinner.
Oh, what a
we
good
had
one it was.
presents.
It was a corker.
Did you enjoy it? You don't usually enjoy
I don't
roast
normally
dinners,
like,
do you?
no, but the chicken, I mean, the word of the weekend was brine.
Yes. I think I need to do that as a meals in minutes.
Can I just say, I
tip.
never thought the word brine would dictate the tenor of a weekend.
Right, now you're being a fucking arse and you're being annoying and a patronising git.
No, I'm being...
Mark, don't.
All the chicken I ate
This
this
is
week...
what now he'll say the entire weekend was just about brining.
Darling, it's the small...
Darling.
Hang on.
Darling.
It's the small things that make have the biggest impact. And I could not have believed that chicken could taste like it tasted this weekend. And the key was brining.
Brining.
So it was joyful to see Lisa and Carlitos and Eddie and Carl. It was joyful to do a sing-along.
But
But
part
actually,
of why there was a lot
brining
of
was the most
chat
important thing.
around brining was because
So
Lisa
much chat.
gets... She does chicken all the time. She's a bit fed up of her chicken being dry. And if you brine your chicken, it won't be dry.
Ah, well, that's a good
And
one.
it cooks really, really quickly.
Right.
So do you want me to tell you how to brine?
Well, I think you say it in the vlog.
Okay.
Unless you want to do it again.
No, it's fine.
It involves salt and water. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I seem to remember. Yeah. I'm just making a note of Ms. Goddamn Robot. That's a curious name. Ms. Goddamn
Where does that come from?
Robot. Welcome to the
Yes, we
family
did
guest
vlog,
area.
Jackie.
We did vlog, yeah, absolutely we did. Good morning.
Isn't that kind of... Don't they say that really,
Anne-Marie.
really tiny handwriting is like quite psychopathic?
Possibly.
Honestly, you should see Mark's degree. It's all written.
My
This...
degree, that wasn't my degree, it was an essay.
Well...
In my degree. You don't say, you should see my, it's like saying you
The
should,
work for
you
your
should
degree.
press the World Wide Web. What are you talking about?
But you know what I mean?
I'm miswriting
the
with
work that
hand.
you did for your degree.
Oh, it was-
the work
it was
you did for your degree.
microscopic.
Microscopic.
Very odd. What
I'm
does that say?
amazed you passed. I'm amazed that the examiners didn't say we can't read it.
It wasn't that small.
Mark, it's very psychopathic.
It is small. It's about concentrating thought.
Why don't we get our handwriting?
Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
God,
something.
what
How's
will
your tooth, says Suzanne's World.
Very annoying, but thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Emma. I hope you're feeling better. Who's
Hi,
that?
Emma.
Irene Gray. My first live. Welcome, Irene.
Welcome,
Gray.
Irene.
Yeah. Emma L2189. I write small. I mean, I love writing. But I tell you what I noticed from doing so much writing in my life, I used to have a callus there. A little lump. It's gone because we just type. It's terrible, isn't it? And if I'm writing something quickly off the bat, you know, you just want to get it down. I do it quickly into my phone. I miss that. I miss a little notebook where you can go like that.
Ali P said, please, for the love of God, can you organise your decorations before they go up in the loft? Do you know what?
I still want
Mark
to know
has
where my
been
robin is.
diagnosed with ADD, and I would be very, very shocked if I'm not ADD. I'm convinced I am.
I think ADHD.
And so however hard we try, we can't get organised. So we are really, really going to try. I've bought a big thing that holds 128 decorations.
I'm not moving a jot until you tell me where my Robin with his screwdriver nose
I don't
is.
know. I think he's in one of the boxes upstairs.
That's not good enough.
Well, when we bring the boxes downstairs, you can have a look for your Robin.
That's not... No, everyone was asking about that Robin.
You'll have to ask Dina. She did something with it.
What the fuck did she do with it? I'm really serious. That really hurt because I went to great lengths to repair him and give him a nose.
Did anyone see the film on my Instagram of Toffee on my yoga mat?
Oh yeah, I only just caught that yesterday.
Oh my God, I wish I'd had my phone on, because you wouldn't believe me, but you have to believe me, because I am saying this on all my family's life. She unrolled the yoga mat with her nose, Mark, because I turned around and went, and she was unrolling it.
Before the film?
Yeah, and then I started to film her, and it was so funny, it's so cute. I'm going to do more dog films, because a lot of people were saying,
you're just jealous of my dog photos.
it's just mindful, isn't it? You just watch a dog and you just forget everything else. It's like baby TV when there's a little baby doing something lovely. You just...
Straight after this, I'm going to show you what... Well, not literally in this, but for the vlog, I'm going to show you what's in Toffee's bed. It's got so batshit crazy over there on a spectacular level.
It's gone really... I'm worried. I would like to give that to a dog psychologist.
I know, I want a dog psychologist. I just want to... Maybe we should do that for the vlog. We should take her and sit her on a chair.
Let's take her to a psychiatrist.
Should we get Toffee to a dog psychiatrist? Yeah, let's do it. Can I just say to Adam Smithering, who has been asking, bless you, so many times, we did do a reaction to the Euphoria trailers. You have been desperate to see if we've watched Euphoria yet and whether we're reviewing the first episode. We are going to. In our defence, I think most nights it's ended up a touch too late when we've gone, shall we watch Euphoria?
And also, apparently it's very, very explicit, and the girls just don't want to watch it with us in the room.
Yeah, no, there's that. So yes is the answer.
So we've been having quite a lot of family time in the evening, and so it hasn't felt like, but yes, we can't wait.
We can't wait. When's the second episode land? I've got a feeling it's today.
And actually we were going to watch it last night, but we were so tired, I was really worried I might drop off.
Ooh. Pixie Petal thinks Toffee has ADD.
I
think you're right.
I do.
Tim, that's where the Robin is. I think you could be right.
God. It was Toffee dropping her bone. There was no one at the door.
There was no one at the door. That was Toffee dropping her.
Classic Toffee. It's because she can hear us talk. Can you see her in the background?
Tim has suggested that might be where my Robin is.
Where?
Toffee's bed.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, Tim, I know it isn't. I wish it was. Maybe Toffee is on the autistic spectrum.
She
Someone's
could be.
saying there.
But I think she's a kleptomaniac.
It is Sophia. Sorry, we've just been so busy. Sorry.
She's a kleptomaniac. Right, we better get on with
Sorry,
the news.
Locum A. Sorry, just joined. Mark, have you seen Joe Wick's new LA bod? I have.
I have.
What do you think?
It's weird, isn't it, seeing a person that does transformation transforming again.
But
What I find extraordinary is Rylan.
No.
Have you seen Rylan? That's the guy who wanted to give me a six-pack. The guy who's done Rylan.
But he was unattainable before. And now he's
Well,
becoming
not when you see him next to what he is now.
Yeah, but
you
that
go,
wasn't him. He was sticking his little tongue out, wasn't he? That wasn't. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I thought he looked fantastic. Of course, I did. What can I say? Just a higher hurdle to jump now. Unfortunately, Rylan is. But what Rylan as in Rylan?
I'll look it up and I'll show you guys. Rylan has had, and actually the guy that transformed Rylan did approach me to transform me, and then he told me what I'd have to do, and I went, nah, it's all right. It was so horrible what I had to do. I was like, and then I thought, well, actually, I've never wanted a six-pack. I don't want a six-pack. I like a soft tongue.
You want a one-pack?
Well, I just like the way I am. Thank you very much.
And hence,
I don't want a hard stomach. Why would I want a hard stomach?
Yeah, one that when you run your finger down it, it goes doo, doo, doo. A bit like the bone falling down the stairs. Oh my God. Okay.
This guy, everyone he does, he ends up like
the
that.
nice thing is he doesn't look so ripped. It's like a croissant. Yeah, he looks really, he looks good.
Look.
Yeah, that's good.
Look, and he's the same guy that did Bobby Norris.
But can I be honest with you?
That's a great photo.
But can I be honest with you? It's easier to build up from no fat.
Yeah, he was
It's
skinny
much
in the
easier to
first
build up
place.
from a skinny frame than it
Yeah.
is to chisel away love handles that have been building up over 10 years and then finding something to sculpt. Because you might get there, there might be nothing there to sculpt.
And the thing is, Bobby Norris was very, very thin as well.
Exactly. So if you're already thin, you're on hiding to nothing. No,
Because they're
you're
there.
on hiding
They're
to
just
something.
hiding under the fat.
They're on hiding to something. Anyway, can I just say, hi, good morning, everyone. I am in a state of total despair at what I worry this country is being put through. What I worry this country is being put through. Very silly. And this is my worry. Who's heard of Operation Red Meat? Has anyone heard the phrase being used over the last couple of days? Operation Red Meat.
I hadn't heard of this. Mark was telling me about this yesterday. Shocking.
So Operation Red Meat is the
Really listen to this.
is the
very important.
strategy, or the name that the strategy the government's going to adopt has been dubbed. So they've got a strategy to
And
win
they've
back.
given this the name.
Well,
Or is this what the
it's
interpretation-
informally being called that? Everyone's saying it's what it's been dubbed. So I presume it's probably being used in government circles,
Yeah.
cabinet circles. And Operation
So
Red Meat is the
insulting.
government's strategy, multi-pronged strategy, to essentially, let's not beat around the bush here, distract the British public from everything that's gone wrong, all of the sleaze, all the Partygate nonsense, and essentially appeal to our the worst parts of us. But when I say worst parts of us, the parts of us that have got a niggle. So, for example, they're going to solve the migrant crisis with the army. They're going to scrap the BBC licence. They're suddenly, miraculously, going to remove all COVID limitations on January 26th.
Even though we had 348 deaths the other day.
Exactly. So this is Boris's attempt, even as the Daily Mail says, to steady the ship.
And the red meat means...
Yeah, do you want to know what that means?
Throw us
the
red meat like dogs, so we're
They'll be
chomping
going like
on the red meat, so we forget what the big dog is doing, because that's his
That's
other
Operation Save Big Dog.
Operation Save Big Dog is his plan to save himself from all of it. I just found that so insulting.
I want to now ask you, how does that make you feel? Because I find it so spectacularly insulting to the general intelligence of this nation. And, you know, as you rightly say, it assumes that as we go in for the kill on something, our eyes are so focused on tearing the red meat that we're mindlessly forgetting everything else.
No more BBC licence.
Yeah.
Like savages.
Retargeting Keir Starmer for having a beer at a work situation that was previously already publicised
8 months ago.
8
on the
months
front of the
ago and
Mail.
dismissed as nonsense. But hey, we've got a photo, so let's regurgitate
So they've
it.
repeated the photo, even though it was dismissed as nonsense.
Yeah. Right down to ministers like Nadeem Zahawi having to come out, who I think seems like a decent enough chap, having to sling mud again at Keir Starmer.
So
I'm no
embarrassing.
defender of Keir Starmer, but to draw an equivalence is desperate. And yet, here's what really fucks me off. How many people are going to accept this equivalence between Keir Starmer having a beer over a takeaway, and how many people are going to compare that and say it's equivalent to Boris? It doesn't
To a
matter.
party invite to 100 people in a garden, bring your own bottle, it's the hottest day of the year. I was listening yesterday to LBC, and there was this, I was telling Mark this last night, this very high-ranking civil servant who'd worked alongside Margaret Thatcher and John Major, and it was really interesting insight into everything that's been going on. And she said all kinds of things that were really interesting, but she made a really good point that I haven't heard any presenters or anyone in the newspapers make, which was, do you remember when Allegra Stratton was caught out when they'd been filming the media rehearsal, and they had the journalists say, the fake journalists, so what about these parties at Downing Street? And she said, party or socially distanced works meeting, i.e. that was what they'd been given to say about the parties. That's exactly how Boris has described it. That proves so completely that was the culture, that everybody had this idea. Now, to compare this to, they were at a by-election, they were on the road with the by-election and having a pizza and a beer in the office.
Because nowhere was serving food.
Because nowhere was serving food, and the hotels that they were going back to weren't serving food, is not the same.
It's not equivalent to smuggling wine in cases.
We've seen the wine fridges that
Come
they
on.
bought. I mean, this
but this is how the government. The fact that
outrageous.
we've even given it 2-3 minutes time to talk about it, this is how this government operates. So they hope that the press, the headlines, the clickbait will all be distracted with this. Then a good news story will come in. Or so we're getting the army in to deal with migrants. Brilliant. Appeals to the lowest common denominator.
We're sending migrants to Rwanda.
To Ghana and Rwanda, exactly.
I mean,
but that kind of policy appeals to the lowest common denominator. It's a complex issue that requires a complex solution. But what we're going to do, in order to gain a real sort of quick hit,
throw us some meat,
throw
to
us some red
distract some
meat,
really
and
bloody meat,
Yeah.
so that we're all going on it and forget about all the parties.
But the thing that really fucks me off big time, is regardless of what the science says. So we're suddenly now in a situation where we can seriously entertain the removal of virtually all COVID restrictions because it suits the effing Tory party again. I've got to the point where the entire crisis in this country specifically, there has been a crisis, has been totally dictated by the inner wranglings of a Conservative party. Not for the well and good of the nation, but for the well and good of Boris and the Tories. Just like Brexit. Brexit wasn't about what was best for this country, it was about what was best for the Conservative Party. And I know there are many Conservatives who agree with this. Many Conservatives who agree with this.
But let's just pause on this, okay, on this one, that all restrictions will be lifted. Does anyone really believe that was going to happen in the next few days before the party? Do you remember when there was all the first furore about the parties and they suddenly came out, didn't they, after the Allegra Stratton, and suddenly came out and said, right, nobody can go in, they imposed restrictions on us, and so that we would be distracted from the party and Allegra Stratton, and we were, and the press was, because the press can be so fucking...
Well, and also because the press doesn't... The press isn't distracted, the press creates the distraction.
And so this time they've already done that and imposed more restrictions on us to distract us from the party. This time they're going to lift them all. It's a free-for-all. No masks, as many people as you want in sports events. Yeah, go on. What? Now, great, if that's right, but they're going to have a problem because they're going to have one epidemiologist and virologist after another saying, hang on a minute, we're not quite over the pandemic yet. But Mark said last night he will 100... This very high-ranking civil servant had worked under Margaret Thatcher, and she said, there is no way, because obviously Boris's private secretary is going to be used as the fall guy. They're going to throw him under the bus. She said there is absolutely no way that any private secretary could send an email to 100 people inviting them to a party. She said every single thing is recorded. And Boris was coming to have a drink with them and all make a speech and all of that. That would have been absolutely in his diary. She said, do not believe for 1 second that Boris did not know about that party. He did.
I'd like to know where the bombshell came from that didn't land this weekend. I wish it had landed.
Maybe next weekend.
Yeah, well, we haven't got too long because I mean, come on, get on with it. I mean, this.
Dominic likes to spread it out. The most vengeful little mouse ever. He enjoys all this bit, doesn't he?
But I think it's the most disrespectful, frustrating, and yet most frustratingly of all. I think on many levels, the red meat Operation Red Meat is going to work. It is going to work. I'm telling you now. People will forget. We all have a naturally inbuilt tolerance for these stories for a certain amount of time. And it's not born of a lack of interest, it's born of a lack of change. If you can't enact change, if you feel like you can't, just talking about it doesn't change it, getting angry doesn't change it, sharing about it, listening to radio presenters who talk about it doesn't change it. It just carries on and carries on like a steam train coming towards you. Even using people who I have a modicum of respect for, like Nadeem Zahawi. So they're bringing out all of the respectable ones. And have you noticed there was a thing that happened over the weekend in all the news coverage of the Partygate? Well, what the Tory party have done is they've essentially earmarked those Conservative members of the party who could be deemed the respectful ones, the sort of morally pure ones, to come out and almost tell off the naughty boys in the class, who were the mavericks, the naughty boys, and say, we've got this ship under control now. Oliver Dowden. So they're now sort of bringing out the sort of, yes, no, absolutely.
It was very naughty.
Very naughty, but it's all going to be sorted now. It's all going to be sorted. I mean, this is...
The other thing that this very high-ranking civil servant said was that make no bones about it. Sue Gray, although a very, very, respected woman, and who would not do anything dodgy whatsoever, the woman put in charge of the investigation, she said has been put in charge of the investigation by Boris Johnson because he knows the restrictions that she will have within that investigation, and it is his way out of this. So when they keep saying we have to wait for the investigation, it's because they know absolutely the investigation will
The only person
will put an end to this.
The only person who can actually instigate an investigation of whether he broke the ministerial code is him. He's the only one who can instruct the investigation to happen.
How corrupt is that?
It's just balmy.
North Korea.
North Korea. So we had the Channel migrant story is there, and again,
exactly, JC. Sue Gray's boss is Boris.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got stories in the press. I'm just running through what the stories in the press are today. Channel migrants. The BBC licence is another one. So when down on your luck, have a swipe at the BBC. Now, again, complicated subjects that need a complicated discussion and analysis and solution. Not just some, party political way of distracting and appealing to the lowest common denominator. No one wants to pay a licence fee for something that they don't use or don't want. But as someone just in S, I think your name is, just S, someone incidentally just said there, the BBC licence is actually optional.
Yeah.
It's not actually enforced on you. Okay, if you have a television and all that, but you can actually just have a laptop and watch streamers and all that kind of stuff. So it is optional.
Which a lot of people do.
Now, the reason I get confused about the BBC is that I think that, and I'm not even willing to actually share where I think the BBC has hurt itself or not done itself any favours, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to start attacking the BBC, holding the BBC. We are literally homing in on one institution because the government has been caught at the steering wheel with its hand and fingers in every single pot.
Every pie.
And it's just such an obvious distraction.
It's only me. The thing about the BBC is it's so respected outside of the UK that it would effectively be an act of self-harm.
Totally agree.
As the BBC is one of our strongest arms of soft power globally.
Absolutely. I
mean, you go anywhere in the world and you say the BBC and everyone knows what you're talking about. I mean, you like if you're filming and you want to get access, you just say you're
the BBC.
And there is that respect of the BBC because people listen to BBC radio right across the world. Again, how does he think this looks to the rest of the world? The rest of the world knows he's been caught with all this, with Partygate, and then he's going to try and destroy the BBC 48 hours later. I mean, with the red meat. Don't forget, guys, he's throwing us the red meat. So someone was just
saying that the BBC hasn't sort of, coated itself in honour in the past. No, you're absolutely
it
right.
hasn't.
We were discussing this
There's
yesterday. There's a lot to answer for, and there's a lot that it's done wrong. But all of that stuff should happen. Yeah, exactly. All of that stuff should happen in a conversation about the BBC, not in this aftermath of all this stuff. Surely people will see through this. Surely people won't just think, oh, brilliant, it will be £159 lighter off this year.
I wonder what the Queen would think about that being done to the BBC.
I don't know. But Liverpool Lass, BBC should be like Netflix. I do think there's an argument, but this is where they're drawing us in. They're drawing us into the debate. This is what they're doing.
They've thrown us the meat and we're chewing on that meat instead of continuously holding him accountable.
So yes, there's a discussion to be. Do you see what I mean? This is all I'm trying to say is that these topics, they're very cleverly being thrown out there for us all to pore over by us just discussing should the BBC be funded? Red meat, red meat. Meanwhile, the story just floats away. Sue Gray's report comes out. Boris goes, absolutely. I bet he wasn't saying this when he was the presenter of Have I Got News for You? Do you know what I mean? It's just infuriating, and I think it just takes as many people as possible. All of you, when you talk to people, just say you do realise we're in the biggest distraction episode of this government's entire history. It's just infuriating. So that's Operation Red Meat. Operation Save Big Dog. What you were saying last night? What do you think it should be called? The Operation to Save Boris. Has he called it that? Has he self-dubbed it? Operation Save the Big Dog.
Operation How to Con the Masses. The
peasants.
Operation How to Con the Peasants.
Linda Tyler gaslighting on a spectacularly enormous level.
Yeah. How to get control of the peasants' rabble. The rabble. We're the rabble. Throw them some meat. I hate him so much.
Yeah. Aaron Bullimore just back on the BBC. It's a piece of crap now. Makes it an easy target. Yeah, and that's my point about the BBC. It's made itself such an easy target.
Whereas it should be a discussion on how we
Yeah.
can improve it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shining light of this country, like the NHS.
Operation Get Shot, says Jackie Vellino. That's what it should be. Operation Save Big Knob, Louise N.
Big knob.
That's a good one.
Or little knob.
Operation Icarus. Operation Bamboozle.
Operation Bollocks.
Save the Big Knob Head. Jackie Vellino. Operation Get Shot of the Knob. Tracy Lynham, Operation Flash Knob. Or is it Flash Knob? Yeah. Kim Selvage, of course you can have a birthday shout out at the end. Kim Selvage. So the other story...
Operation the Invisible Man, exactly, because as one of you pointed out yesterday, why is he isolating? He's double vaxxed and boosted.
Yeah.
You don't need to isolate if somebody in your family has COVID. You're allowed to go about your business as normal. Can't believe that the papers haven't run with that. It's bollocks.
Operation Bollocks, Ali P.
Yeah, bollocks. Do you remember when he hid in the fridge? From that time when he was trying to, but they were trying to interview him, and he hid in the fridge, and now he's hidden in his flat.
He hid in the freezer.
Maybe he
was in the freezer scoping it out for how much wine it could hold.
He doesn't need to isolate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the final story, just to quickly talk about, I just want to give some context to this. Prince Harry has offered to pay for his own security personnel. He's not asking the state to pay for it. He's offered to pay for it himself. But there's still a debate as to whether he should be entitled to protection or security. Just whilst you,
I think
you
that's
say what
a
you
bit
think.
of the wrong way round to say it. I think the thing is that I was sort of seeing these headlines around bloody cheek of Harry, bloody cheek of Harry. And he wants to come and show. Got to remember, he's still a baby. The Queen is still his grandmother, whatever. So they want to come and show the baby to the Queen. She probably hasn't got long left. He has he has a full security team himself, and he's able to pay for it, but he wants police protection because police protection is a completely different thing. His American team don't have access to whatever the chatter is. There could be terrorists,
intelligence,
intelligence, yeah. But he has also said he would like to pay for it. So he's not asking for a freebie. Now, have you got his statement, Mark? Because there was a line that I really liked within his statement, which was, and we're just parking to one side all the other stuff about Harry and just taking just this story on its own. And he said...
No, it's the Daily Mail, I don't know.
Pick and choose bits they think they should apply to them. I think it's been very vicious the way people have responded to this.
No, we don't.
And it was basically, he said something along the lines of, by his birth, just by his birth, he is at risk for the rest of his life, which is true because he is a royal, he's at risk of terrorist attacks, he's at risk of kidnapping.
Prince Harry inherited a security risk at birth.
Yeah,
for
that's
life,
it.
the statement said.
For life. Prince Harry inherited a security risk at birth for life. Now, again, parking whatever else we might think about Harry, his mother died because she was unprotected in the way that she needed to be. She was out with a billionaire's son.
Well
they
done,
had
Michelle.
a bodyguard, all of that. She didn't have a seatbelt on. We must never forget she didn't have a seatbelt on. And he's traumatised. Anybody that would lose somebody that they love in the way that he did is going to be fearful of. And I just think the fact that he said he will pay for it as well isn't him saying, I want to come back and pick and choose the bits of royal life that I want.
That's a good point. He doesn't get protection, but Andrew does.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a punishment that they don't get protection. And I think that's a very risky punishment.
I do.
Because I think, apart from anything else, there's still a family. And say something did happen.
Well, I was going to say, what
another
if something awful happened to Harry?
In that car, and they've all just turned their back and gone, you're on your own. I think it would be devastating.
And let's not forget, there's so much hate out there. There's so much hate. I wouldn't be at all surprised that they're incredibly vulnerable.
I think he's genuinely scared.
Yeah,
I don't think he's just trying to be a madam. I think he's scared.
Yeah.
And I understand why he's scared. And I think, it's a bit like, we're all just so quick to judge. It's like, did you see the picture of David Beckham kissing his daughter on the lips? People got so nasty about it. It's like, what's he got to do with you if he kisses his daughter? It's clearly not in any way perverted. It's just that family do it that way. And
Yeah,
what
exactly.
does it? I mean, we all kiss our kids on the lips, don't we? And then it gets to a point where you go, not that you want to stop, but they want to stop, and you do. And I'm sure at some point, though maybe not, his daughter will go, oh no, Dad, I don't want to kiss you on the lips anymore. And at that point, it'll be up to them. And I think he is scared for his own life and his family's life, and we shouldn't judge that.
And he has post-traumatic stress disorder of it having happened in the having happened in the public
To
realm
his
before.
beloved
It's a
mother.
very unusual set of circumstances, guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To those who are making the decision. And H, visiting diplomats would be given protection, so why not Harry and his family?
It really is. I think it's embarrassing. I think it's really embarrassing because it just smacks of revenge.
Yeah.
And have your revenge, but I don't think when you're risking people's lives like that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I wonder if we're going to see in a minute. We said that they could have protection.
Yeah, Charlie, the press are very biased against Harry and Meghan. No nice articles at all. It's terrible. They 100% deserve protection. He was born into this.
Yeah,
disaster.
born into
Entirely
the
agree.
risk. Yeah,
Entirely agree.
for the rest of his life.
Okay, guys, so we're going to do a welcome, a happy birthday. And can I just say to Michelle Hofstein, congratulations on 25 years sober.
Oh,
Absolutely
wow. Oh,
astonishing.
my God. One day at a time. 25
25
years.
years. Well done.
Jeez.
Remarkable. And Kim Selvage, it's her birthday. So can we do a
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kim. Happy birthday to you.
And you've got to mangle this name, Miss Goddamn Robot. Welcome to the
Miss
family.
Goddamn Robot. Miss Goddamn Robot.
Miss Goddamn Robot.
Welcome to the family guest area.
Miss Goddamn Robot. Miss
I
Goddamn
bet you're
Robot.
all wanting to join the
Miss
family
Goddamn
guest
Robot.
area
Yeah, there you
now
go.
after
So
that.
if you join the family guest area, we will destroy your name through the medium they say was song, but it's no longer song.
And guys, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. We have tons of content on this channel. We have family vlogs. We have recipes. Oh God, Sophie's doing that weird thing with her bum. We have recipes. We have mental health things. We have movie reviews, TV reviews. All of that is totally free. We put a lot of work, passion and hard work into this channel every day. 6 days a week. We're here live. We have Sundays off. And on Sundays, in our members area,
Toss.
costs about 37p a week. We have our brilliant, and I don't care that I'm saying it's brilliant because it is, because we both know if that show was on television, it would take 30 people to make it, and Mark and I make it ourselves with the help of our friends and family contributing. And it's out every Sunday. Oh, it was lovely our Sunday off. We just hung out, we had a roast and it was really nice. So if you would like to join the members area, as I say, it's 37 pence a week, and you do it. There's a join box under this film here. When you join, you get a welcome sing-song, rather like the one we just did.
There are members lives where you can win cards. After 24 months, you get a signed photo.
Yeah, and once a week we do a members live, and we give away 5 free cards. Shall I show the card?
Yeah, it has lots
Duh,
of...
duh.
Yeah.
That we autograph. We send you a little message.
Yeah.
Autograph, I don't want to say that, sign it.
Autograph.
So if you'd like to join us there, join us.
Yeah.
And the show on a Sunday is usually about an hour and a half.
Can
hour
I
and a
ask?
half, isn't it?
I want to do something else in the members area. I want to make some more sushi.
Yeah,
We did it
gotta
on the
get
main
making
channel.
sushi
I want to
again.
get and make some more sushi. So guys,
So,
have a lovely, lovely day. Stay...
If you missed our podcast on Friday, it is out
Yes.
now, so check that out.
Bye.